Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome back to Make Your Mind. I guess this is another, what could I call these? I guess just maybe a wonder video, or maybe, I could call these sculpture question videos. I made one not too long ago, talking about characters from the Fallout video game series, and I made a small character of the Scorch Beast out of my typical orange doodle clay that I use. Clean that off real quick. And I've done another one just because I've just been brainstorming about ideas for content, and I would love to hear some feedback, just to see how you guys would feel if I started doing stuff like this. Now, just to give you some context, when I was a young kid, like most young boys are, I was a dinosaur fanatic, and making dinosaurs out of clay was actually one of the things I did for when I was in my fifth grade class. This is just there's a little backstory for me. In my fifth grade class, I actually brought some clay with me for show and tell, and I told them that I wanted to show off my talents, and I made a Tyrannosaurus Rex sculpture in less than 2 minutes without even looking at it, which I admit is kind of weird, but I may do a video kind of like that in the future. I do have some videos that I've done similar to that, my happy little sculptures. If you want to check those out, you can check them out on the little title card right up here. But this was a sculpture that I just finished. I was just kind of doodling on my own here, just in the office, and a lot of people don't like. Well, here, let me give you some more context. A lot of people, their favorite dinosaur would be the Tyrannosaurus Rex, or their favorite would be, the sea dinosaurs like the Liopleurodon or the Plesiosaurus, or favorite dinosaurs would be like the massive ones like the Argentinosaurus, Brachiosaurus, stuff like that. But my favorite was always a dinosaur that had such an incredible backstory. And this was the dinosaur that I actually made, and here's the sculpture right here. Let me bend the head a little bit up. This is Spinosaurus. As you can see, a lot of people don't know, but Spinosaurus was actually first discovered in Egypt in the early 1900s. And it was discovered, oh man, I can't remember the gentleman's name. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, just to give you guys some context as to what this was. Yes, it was discovered by the German paleontologist Ernst Stormer, 1915. Sorry, I remembered the last name, but I couldn't remember his first name, Stormer. Known as Spinosaurus aegypticus. And one of the most intact skeleton specimens was actually located I believe it was located in the Berlin Museum. I'm reading the wiki here as I'm talking. And a lot of speculation as to what the Spinosaurus actually looked like, but not too long ago, I think it's been maybe 4 or 5 years, a new skeleton was actually discovered in Morocco, and it was actually sold on the black market and then eventually made its way to some very famous museums in England and also in Germany as well. And just as a sort of tribute to Ernst Stormer, I made this sculpture right here, which is actually based on the new sort of speculation as to what Spinosaurus looked like. Because a lot of people, when you see Spinosaurus, they think of the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, which I do love that interpretation of that creature, even though it's technically not correct anymore. I still love it regardless. I love the fact that especially the sounds. My God, the sounds are still perfect for that creature, especially. And I've always been a fan of Spinosaurus more, and I got into a lot of arguments when I was a kid. What was better, Spinosaurus or Tyrannosaurus Rex? And hey, Rexy's got a big following, but I've always been a Spino fan. And this is the sort of new version of what Spinosaurus looked like. They actually found out that it doesn't walk on 2 legs, it actually walks on 4. It has a more paddle-like alligator tail, and the spine, normally it's curled at the top, like it has a curved top, but it's actually concave with parts of the spine actually sticking out. And it has this sort of like alligator flap under the neck, and there's a bunch of really incredible pictures as to what Spinosaurus actually looks like. Let me see here. I pulled up one of those photos earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, there it is. Okay, real quick, let me do a quick jump cut and I'll show you a picture of what that looks like. There it is. This was an artist interpretation based on what the new version of Spinosaurus actually looks like. And as you can see, it has a lot of distinctive features. Now, normally it would be walking on the two legs, but in this case, it actually has walking on four legs, and it actually curls its three claws up and actually walks on its knuckles, kind of like a gorilla, which I find just absolutely fascinating. And then there's the picture. There's the size of it compared to a human, which, yikes, that's pretty scary. But then as you can see, the sail on the back, it curves up, but it doesn't curve around like it did. It actually curves up and then concaves slightly and then comes back down again. But I love this sort of interpretation, and the tail has actually, it's changed a little bit since this picture. It actually has a little bit of a paddle more on the back for swimming. And this was by scientists anyway, this was the first dinosaur to ever be seen as a semi-aquatic. It's actually an amphibious dinosaur. Not amphibious in the way of like a frog, but amphibious in the way that it lives on the water and on the land, which is just absolutely fascinating. One of the things that I loved most about this thing, the fact that it ate smaller dinosaurs, it ate fish, it ate pretty much anything that it could sink its mouth into. And what I love most about the mouth especially, as you can see, it has this curved structure right in here where the teeth jut into, so it becomes like a vice. And it has these holes in the front snout going all the way up to nearly the nose. These holes that are sensory receptors that actually sense vibrations in the water. Now, this is all pure speculation, but it's based on creatures that do exist here in this time frame anyway, such as alligators and even sharks. But there was the picture that I found, and we'll jump back to the sculpture real quick. Yeah, see? So that's the sort of inspiration that I got to actually make this Spinosaurus sculpture. And just to give some more context, I've been following like indie YouTubers such as IGP and Insomnia and Aki and a bunch of others, and they've been following a game. I know IGP in particular. He had his own server for a while, but I don't think it exists anymore. I think it was on the Discord IG Paradise, but I'd have to look into that. I don't think it exists anymore. But they played a game called The Isle, which I have become a fan of that game, because you get to play as a dinosaur around this massive map, and on top of that, they have some mutated dinosaurs, including a mutated Spinosaurus, which looks absolutely awesome. And just as some feedback, would you guys want to see some dinosaur sculptures? I know I've already made this one. This one was just of my favorite, Spinosaurus aegypticus. And if you guys want to see more of those sculptures, go ahead and leave a comment down below, please. I'd love to see some viewer requests. And if you want to get notified of those videos, remember to leave a like and also subscribe. And remember to hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss that next video. I really do want to do these, but I would love to see if the audience would love to see that too. That's kind of one of the things about this channel, is that it is called Make Your Mind, so I am totally okay with taking requests within reason. Like, for example, I had somebody say that I should remake my Gargantuan Leviathan to actual size, a 1-to-1 scale, and yeah, no, that's not happening. So it was obviously a troll. But irregardless, if you guys want to see some cool dinosaur sculpts, me personally, I would love to do them, but I'd love to find out if you want to see them. And if that's the case, then stay tuned. I'll be awaiting to hear some feedback. And once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you hopefully on the next dinosaur-based showcase. We'll see. But remember, leave a comment down below. Let me all know what you think.